Hi, and welcome to SUPPS theme walkthrough. In this video, I will show you the fundamentals of setting up this theme and showcase some of the sections and ways you can customize them. So let's begin. First things first, let's open theme settings where your main design guidelines are configured and go through some of the options. First on the list are color settings. We expanded the accent color selection so you can add more colors to your design. Treat accents as your color presets, which you can set later, later use within each individual section settings. Set them once and forget about your color hex codes. Same logic applies to background colors, which are configured a little bit lower. And the example of the outcome you can see here on the right, where we have a section with a white background and then the next one with slightly gray. Next up is typography. Here you can choose separate fonts for your headings and body text. Shopify is using Google Fonts Library, which has a wide selection of popular and free fonts for you to choose from. Adjust the font size scale to your liking, but keep in mind that font size on smaller devices will appear 25% smaller than on larger desktop screens. Always check the mobile device preview here on the top right when applying these settings. So you can choose between mobile, desktop, and full screen preview when you're customizing your theme. Layout section has optimal settings already preset out of the box. The main option here is the width of your page content. If you feel like your design needs more breathing room and white space, feel free to increase it. So here, where it has 1200 pixels, which is the optimal size, you can increase to, let's say, 1300 pixels. And after theme refreshes, you will see that some of the sections will expand in width. On the other hand, when decreasing the width, make sure that there's enough space for your content, especially in sections which are divided into halves, like this image with text section here. So I will revert this to 1200, and let's move to button settings. Depending on your design, you might want to round the corners of your buttons, which you can do here. Crank up this setting if you want perfectly round corners and buttons looking like pills. Yeah, so if we'll increase it to 40 pixels, you will see that the outcome turns into pill-looking buttons. Feel free to play around with other settings to match your desired outcome. Very similar to button settings, variant pills can be found on products with variants. So if we'll open one of the products here that has variants added, regular variants added, you can see that I have set size variant with two options to this product right here. And variant selection displayed as smaller buttons. Hence, the applicable settings are equal to your primary call to action buttons that we just saw. We have added a more advanced way of showing variants with image swatches, which you will see later into this video. So next, input settings are applied to your form elements, frequently found on contact page or in the footer as newsletter subscription box. So if we'll scroll all the way down here, one of the input fields is located here, and you can change these settings to modify this field. Next up are product card settings. Product cards can be found on collection pages or in sections like featured collection, which can be found on homepage, and you can also add the section on other pages like the product page or other custom pages you would like to create. So by changing style and background setting, you can achieve a boxed product card view. So let's wait for it to update. So as you can see, it added additional paddings and boxed in all of the content within these product cards. Content containers are blocks within sections, like this image with text section here. You can apply a border, change corner radius, and add shadow effect. So let's try it out. So let's add a 3-pixel border to our content container. And it shows up like this. We can also increase the border radius. If you're using like a rounded button style, it could match the overall look and feel of your store. Same applies to your media settings, aka images. By mirroring content container settings, you can create quite unique and cool effects here. So let's add the same border thickness and same corner radius. And also, if you'll play with shadow effects, you can create this like floating section, floating block visual, which I think looks really, really cool. Dropdowns and pop-ups have already a familiar set of settings here. Dropdowns are frequently found in multiple level navigation. An example of pop-up would be the mini cart window, which we'll take a look at in a minute later down this video. So drawers are elements that slide from the side of the screen, like the cart drawer. Again, you will see it in action when we'll get to cart settings. Badges are displayed on product cards in the form of a discount or sale indicator. You can adjust these settings to match your buttons and other elements. You can change the placement of the badge, also adjust the corner radius, and well, the color here as well. Social media section is the go-to place to set URLs to your socials. Only socials with filled out input fields will appear on your store. You can see here, if I add something to this field, right here, let's say just anything really, it will automatically appear as an icon in the footer. So I added something in the Twitter input field and it added the Twitter icon. And whenever I'll remove it, it also is going to disappear. Search behavior settings are quite straightforward. When you open your search bar and start typing name of your product, suggestions will appear. So let's try it out. So if I will start typing, let's say anti, it will show me antioxidant product here. You can disable or enable this feature as well as add more details to each listing if you so choose. In most cases, I would suggest enabling at least the price setting as it gives your visitors more info without opening the product page, which might help with your conversion rates. Next up are favicon settings. So favicon is the small icon you see next to your page title in Browser tab. It's always a good idea to create one. Suggested size for favicon is 32 by 32 pixels. You can use either PNG or JPEG image, although I have found slightly better results using PNG due to transparent background option. And also PNG images tend to have slightly higher image quality. And here we don't really have to worry about image size because the image is so small. Currency format section has only one setting, but it's quite important, especially if you're selling in countries like Australia that use Australian dollars that has the same currency symbol as US dollars. Currency code is the 3-letter combination that follows the amount. We have the setting enabled by default. Feel free to disable it if you don't see it useful or think it creates unnecessary clutter on your store. And we finally arrive to the cart settings, which were mentioned a couple of times before. And you can change the type of cart you would like to use here. By using drawer cart type, you disable the single cart page, meaning that your visitors won't have an easy way of accessing it. So if we'll enable it, you will see what I'll mean by that. So first, let's wait for the theme to reload, then press the save button here. And whenever I want to access a cart, let's say by pressing the cart icon on top, this drawer will appear. And there's no real way of me accessing the cart page without going to cart page settings here, which is not available for your visitors. And that's completely okay, as all of your typical cart features are found within this drawer. Keep in mind that some upsell and discount apps might not be compatible with drawer type cart out of the box. So next on the list is page type, which is your traditional cart type. So let's select this and save the theme. By selecting this option, you will disable drawer as well as cart pop-up windows. So you will have only the standalone page. So now if I click on the cart icon right there, it directly redirects me to the cart page. And last on the list is the pop-up notification, which appears when you add something to your cart. Main difference from drawer type is that you get to keep your cart page. So let's select this and save the theme. So now, whenever I go to a product and add it to my cart, this pop-up will appear with options to go to your cart page or directly to checkout. In case it closes and disappears and I want to proceed with my purchase, I click here and it goes to cart page. So it combines the pop-up notification plus the cart page in one. And then last but not least are your checkout settings. This is where you can slightly adjust your checkout page look. These settings should be very similar to the ones found on other themes, so you'll have an easy time copying them over. So that's it for theme settings. Let's move on to sections. For the most part, all sections share similar color and background settings, as well as ways of managing content. Therefore, I will show you some of the new and improved sections we have added to SUPPS. Let's start with improved image with text section. When considering a hero section for your homepage, statistics show that static image with one powerful message performs much better than any slider or slideshow section. When adding content to this section, you will find 6 types of content blocks, which are displayed here. So first is review rating block that provides a bit of social proof in form of review stars. You can change the text and the color of your stars to match either one of your accent colors or a dedicated rating star color. So maybe let's change it to accent one here. Next are your heading, caption, and body text blocks. Well, these are quite straightforward, so you can add the caption block as well and move them around to create alignment that best suits your needs. Call to action button block. where you can set your button label and also point it to any page on your Shopify store. And last but not least, and also one of the more powerful content blocks here in this section is your selling point block, where you can show up to 3 benefits or unique selling points. We have preloaded SUPPS icon library, which contains more than 50 supplement related icons for you to choose from. So that's this section's content out of the way. Now let's look at the overall settings. Here you can upload the main image, choose the image display size and select whether to show image first or second on desktop. So in this case, let's select image first just to switch something around. And additionally, you can choose selling point orientation. Show them in a row as in this example, or have them in a vertical list style view. So let's change it to vertical and you should see the difference immediately. Settings such as color scheme and paddings can be found in practically all sections. We want to really make this section stand out. We can use one of the accent colors here. But be careful that elements that you've set to use accent 1 as the star rating icons will kind of disappear. So just go back to content block settings and change it to a different color. All right, so next up is the USP section, or unique selling points. Similar to image with text section, it also has main section settings and column blocks for content. This time all blocks are the same type. Let's look into what options content blocks can provide. You will find icon selection dropdown and an image upload field for your custom icons or images. So if you will upload an image like so, it will be displayed instead of the icon. Additionally, you can add small links to other pages. Super useful if you want to inform your customers about things like product sales, loyalty programs, or social media campaigns. So let's add a test link and it should appear right here. Up next is the featured collection section. Here you can choose one collection and amount of products to show within this slider. One setting to pay attention to is image ratio drop down right here. If you would like all images to be even and square, select the square option. Sometimes if your product image sizes vary and you have the adapt to image option selected, content below each product image will also jump up and down, and it might not look as nice. Another thing to note is the short description text underneath the price here. It can be added using something called meta fields, which all Shopify stores have out of the box, and they have to be configured separately. We'll touch on this topic in a different video. So if you see this in one of our demo stores and can't find it within this section, don't worry. Next section is called rich text. It's similar to image with text section in terms of content blocks, but doesn't have the need to upload an image. So it's a full screen, mostly text content section. Instead, we have introduced an option to show an icon on top. When enabling the icon, make sure to give this section additional top padding to increase the gap between the icon and the rest of the content. So next we have customer reviews section. Some of you might have reviews from Facebook, from Google, Amazon, Etsy, etc. So to avoid the need for a fancy app that will pull in these reviews into one place, we have created a super simple way to showcase your reviews in a slider. Each review comes with an image upload field and rating display feature in a form of stars. So let's look at this review content block right here. So you can add image or don't if you don't want to, or you don't have the consent of the reviewer to show their image. Also enable or disable star ratings for each of the blocks here on this page. So let's refresh. Let's save and refresh this theme preview here. And to change the color of stars, head to overall section settings, where you will find the rating star color dropdown, similar to one that we saw previously here. So let's actually change this to rating color. And you will notice that it changes in the heading part here, as well as within each individual card, review card that is. And as you can see in this example, we have added another image with text section, but this time use the vertical icon alignment option just to give you another idea of how to use this section for your store. Moving on to community feed section here. Once again, we made the manual image selection on purpose. Not all Instagram feeds are perfectly populated with user-generated content or social proof type of images. Therefore, add the best content you've got by hand, leaving a powerful impression about your brand and community. So essentially just filter out all of your clutter from Instagram account and show just the best type of content. And the cool part is that you can use this section multiple times across your store and use different types of images to match the context or the content on those pages. So let's say you have one type of product and you have a bunch of user-generated content for that specific product, so you can use those images on that specific product page. Just to give you an implication to this section. So last one on the homepage, we have featured product section. Showcase your newest or most popular product by adding a custom badge on top or suite benefit list right here. This is the perfect section to hook in visitors into visiting your product page, which we will look into next. But the goal of this section is to have short description, main benefits, showcase that it has a sale and a discount for the customer to move on to the product page. So let's do that. We have significantly enhanced the main product info area by adding new content blocks. Although we can add a traditional quantity selector, like so, we have significantly enhanced the main product info area by adding new content blocks. Although we can add a traditional quantity selector like so, showing quantity as bundles is so much more powerful, and it's super easy to set up as well. To have image swatches for your quantity variant, you must name your product option as quantity. So let's go to this product settings in your Shopify dashboard and see how it looks here. So I have an option called quantity. Then you will need to create a new variant meta field. Guide for that you will find in another video, as it's a more broad topic to look into in general. When opening variant settings, you should have a quantity image meta field at the bottom here, at the very bottom here. And that's the one shown on your product page. So that's exactly the image that is going to be used, and not the selected variant image here. So please keep that in mind. It's done this way to avoid showing bundle images within your product image carousel. So not to show like an excess images that don't provide an additional bit of information for the customer. And so yeah, we're back at the product info section. Below your add to cart button, you will find payment method icons with the save payment badge that you can disable or enable here by going to payment icons content block. Just by clicking out, you will have it removed. So next up is your shipping timeline, order timeline that is. It automatically calculates delivery dates from days you have entered in the settings. So it always takes the 0 date from this moment. And we have pre-populated these fields with approximate shipping days for supplemental products. Please keep in mind that if you sell other products, you should adjust these days accordingly. Below shipping timeline are collapsible content tabs, like the product benefits here, ingredients, directions, etc., which can store content applicable to all products or product-specific content, which can be added using meta fields via dynamic content sources. So again, we'll touch on this in a separate meta fields video. Let's move on to sections that will perfectly fit on your product page. Thanks to the nature of Shopify 2.0, you can use sections we showcased on the homepage here on the product page as well. And you will see that we use USP section, customer reviews, community feed, etc. here on the product page as well. But we won't review them again. We'll just move past them. So one product-centric section that we didn't look at yet is product benefits. You can add up to 4 content blocks around one main image. First, I feel like these content borders are a little bit distracting, so let's remove those. And let's go, first let's save the theme, and let's go back to our Brazilian blend product. So let's open it up and scroll down to product benefits. Right. So we have also enabled borders for our media. Let's disable, remove them as well. Save. Sorry for that. And go back to this product right here. Now it looks a bit cleaner, and we can move on to extra fields that we added for a couple of product facts as well as product usage guide. Feel free to use these fields for any use you see fit. It's not only for product facts or usage. We mainly inserted that for example purpose, but you can see here that these are just your regular input fields, and you can populate them with whatever information you see fit within this section. And in the main section settings, you will find a call to action button option here. This button only shows up on mobile device screens, so if you have it enabled and don't see it here, don't worry, it will show up on mobile device preview. Moving on to another impactful section, that is the competitor table. And here you can create a table showcasing various product features and comparing them with your competitor products. So let's look at the overall section settings first. On top, we see a familiar visual display options such as heading size and color scheme, which also other sections use. And below that, we can see options for up to 3 company columns. So column 1, column 2, and column 3. The most popular use case is to use the first column for your brand showcase, a feature showcase. And each column has an option to upload an image, most likely used to upload logos, which is shown on top of each column. And there's also a text field option in case you would want to enter just the name of your competitor or have any other word inserted. As in this case, we have the word competitor. In both image and text fields, if both image and text fields are filled out, image will take the priority and text will not be visible. So here for the second column, if I upload a random image here, the text disappears and the image shows instead. So something to keep in mind. So now let's move on to the content blocks for this section. Each content block can be viewed as a separate row used for features here. So here you have an input field for your feature title, as well as option to enable check marks. There might be cases when your product is not the only one having certain features. Therefore, we left the option to insert check marks for all columns. If the check mark option is not enabled, an X will be shown instead. So let's try it out here with the second column. I select this check mark and it shows a green check mark here. Because there's no third column, this option will not do anything. So yeah, you should only worry about it if you have this third column visible. And it enables only after you either type in some text or upload an image. So then we have customer reviews and community feed sections, which you already saw on the homepage. And below them, you will see a single quote section. This is the perfect section if you have an influencer or expert endorsement or one featured testimonial which you would like to showcase. It works best if the testimonial is given by a known individual or company, as it really stands out. The content management side is quite straightforward, so you have fields for your main text, image, and the name and position or the company name. You can choose whichever use case you want for this field of your reviewer. So next is the video section here. It's great for tutorials or product showcase videos. In section settings, you can upload a dedicated cover image. So if your video has a custom thumbnail, it could be used here as well. Videos are added from YouTube, so upload it there first and then copy over the video URL as you see here. After pressing the play button, it will load and automatically play the YouTube video, like so. And next up is one of our favorites, the image banner section. Actually, we should have called it media banner section, as we introduced additional background video support, as you can see here. This time you will need to upload a MP4 format video file to your Shopify store files. You can find this settings section by going to store settings. So let's open up here and go to your store settings on the bottom left here and open files in the left side navigation. I already have a video uploaded, but you can do that by pressing this green button on the top right. And after uploading your video, you will see a URL which needs to be copied over to section settings. Luckily, Shopify has implemented this handy feature of this button. Just click it and you should see a notification saying that the link has been copied. So head over back to your section settings and paste in this URL. This time, image takes priority over video, so make sure there are no images uploaded for the video to work. So let's remove our first image here, and we should see the video playing. As for the content, you can add it using content blocks. There are 3 different block types: your heading, body text, and call to action button. Again, you can rearrange them, and by opening them up, you can change the content here. And next is your collapsible content section. It uses similar content editing settings as collapsible rows in the main product info section that we previewed in the beginning of this product page. It's more often used for your frequently asked questions. Although you can use it for displaying some informative bits of text and other content you would like to display here. Apart from the product page, you can also use this section on your dedicated FAQ page. Again, thanks to the Shopify 2.0, we can reuse the same sections on other page templates. And last on the list, we have ingredients section. Showcase key ingredients and their benefits. This will greatly help educate your customers and increase trust of your store. You can add up to 3 content blocks here. In overall settings, you can change the color of top labels as well as change blog background color. So let's actually do it right here. So let's change it to accent 2. And let's change the color background to maybe accent 1. You can see we can achieve quite unique looking section by playing around with these settings here. And make sure to add additional bottom padding in case of using ingredient images, as the padding is calculated from the bottom of each block and not the bottom of the image. So here as well, I've given it additional 20 pixels. We could actually give it a little bit more to increase this space. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and good luck building your next storefront.